I get baited into Fortune so much with higher tempo lobbies like Prismatic or portals that give you more resources. With high tempo, it's just a lot harder to play Fortune.
Yep. I mean, it's definitely true that Fortune is worse in high resource systems because like the amount of advantage you get off of that extra item or so is just much less.
Hmm.
I mean, your spot's looking great for it. Okay.
But yeah, I was just leaning towards what
Yeah,
doesn't kill you.
I have no problem with that.
So Lighting Jewel seems like it could be okay with Teemo, but it's like seems like it's not great. Otherwise, like Zonia's could be like a Silas item later.
So I'm just is good. What is this? Is biting good? All these new items are like not good, but I
Yeah,
can't.
I
I don't
think
know.
Lighting like overall stats aren't great, but seems to be the best applier of it. Like I saw Abby's play a Teemo 3 Blighting game, and it just
Yeah.
relies on you having such a strong front line for Teemo to, because it like hits some escape velocity once everyone's MR gets under 0, and then he could start insta casting over and over and over again.
Got it. Oh,
When
okay.
everyone's MR hits 0, it just like becomes like a perma mana zane, it seems like.
So I would like taking a Teemo item. I think that the Blade Jewel wouldn't be quite good enough for Teemo in this comp, just because the way you describe it, it seems like a stall comp, and like 4 sharp is not a stall comp. It's like a win in 2 cast comp. I think I'd probably go for Zonya. I think that like any sort of other Teemo item might be acceptable because you have a floating rod and tier.
Mhm.
So going for a Glyph Morello plus a Morano for Teemo would be pretty good. But I don't think Blighting would be good enough. But maybe I'm wrong. But Zonia's is a pretty safe bet. Zonia's can also go in Teemo if you have to.
Right. Yeah, I think the one exception to that with Blighting is I saw that, I forget if I looked at the stats on this, but I saw somewhere for multiple sources that Blighting with Tattoo of Toxin is insane because I guess the two of them just synergize really well together.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't think I had Tattoo of Toxin this game. So I think I took Zonya's like you mentioned.
Yeah, and then we should be scouting. Oh, okay. You can't level up here. You need to mission the others.
Oh, with what, you know?
Yeah, what
Okay.
doesn't kill you.
So
Because like I know you want a pre-level to like hit
yeah, the
the
Teemo.
Teemo or just but it's too risky because if you think there might be another Fortune player or even just like someone else that's open, they're just going to open you because they're level 3 or level 4.
Okay, so it's more important to actually preserve augment value at this point than go for fortune immediately.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially since like you can look at the tables and like the early rounds, or the stage 2 Fortune is just not valuable enough to like want to sack this hard for it. You might as well just try to get the econ and then put it in for stage 3.
Okay. The other thing I'm thinking about, if I didn't have what doesn't kill you, it's like, even if I do
That's a
want to
great
play,
lane. Yeah.
okay. So it's because it's like usually when I'm thinking about playing fortune, even if I'm getting fortune in on 3-1, it like you want to try to preserve as much HP to get the value out of fortune, right?
Yeah, yeah. You definitely want to like if you didn't have what doesn't kill you, you can actually like maybe play a little bit of a board and then preserve some HP. That would be nice. But we always want to lose here, so there's
Okay.
not much point to level up. Also, slamming items on any fortune unit is pretty bad because then we're committed to those items on our fortune units, and if there's any other fortune players, it's going to be really hard to lose to them. So it's just hard to. I mean, you took a 1 loss, which is insane. And we could have made 10 here.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm seeing IE, and then when you have a lot of items, which you do, when you will, I don't have a problem with that. I really like going like Morello plus mid item for Timo.
Oh yeah.
But this is fine too.
I think maybe I was tunneling too hard on these items going on Silas later.
But it's still good. You should be really scared of that other person at 90 HP though.
This guy.
Yeah,
I feel like that should beat me, right? Or
it
I guess
should. But
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose another round, they try to boost you on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I shouldn't have slammed that Zanya's. I'm not even sure it's
in a really good spot because we already fought them.
Yeah. So this is a all 2-star board, and there's a Teemo, so I'm thinking about taking the Teemo.
Yeah, you just take the Teemo. If not, then the Revan would be pretty nice.
Yeah. Otherwise, I probably would have wanted a bow.
The bow, yeah, but I'm pretty sure like actually the bow's on the bow's on a Aatrox, so it's actually takeable. But if it's not an untakeable unit that you can play on your board, I wouldn't do it. I would just take the chain on the ribbon.
Right. If it wasn't all 2-star, like 2 costs, just item component wise, yeah.
Then you just take the bow or whatever. Take the bow or glove, sword, whatever.
I think a lot of times too with Fortune, I've been just opening too much and just losing way too much HP. So I think lately I've been trying to experiment with playing a little bit more to preserve HP, but then it risks more of these scenarios where I could just accidentally win.
It's okay. You're getting opened on. Yeah. So this is the spot where it'd be a lot easier to open if you didn't have the Zanyas on your Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
But you actually can because you have a Zoe on bench. You can actually swap them out. So like that Zoe should have been on your bench, but that's okay. I think that from opening, especially in your spot right now, is pretty good. Just because you have what doesn't kill you, and like from your spot, if you lose your streak, it's really really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But other games, when like you actually have a chance at maybe saving HP, it's not as bad. I'm assuming they're still going to try to sack because they have Fortune, or do they not?
This guy.
Yeah, you don't slam.
Is the fear that I would beat them?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you slammed before you even saw their board on those Zanyas. So like obviously after seeing their board, you can probably safely slam it, but like, you know.
Like they might have swapped at the last second.
Yeah, they might have just thrown more Sipper in the front line.
I see. I feel like usually people don't sack 3-1, right? To continue their streak, or I guess sometimes they do.
I would, especially like 5 streaks. You're both playing Fortune. You should.
I see. Okay. All right. So here, I feel like usually with Kale, I'm not picking best friends because it wastes a little value. But I guess it's still decent.
It's not bad because you actually don't really care about the kill on the other unit usually, because like Teemo doesn't want it that bad, and then until you get Xayah, you don't really want the attack speed, and even when you go Xayah, you might as well just like split them up so you don't get an AoE. I think it's better than the other two.
Okay. And then now I'm basically picking Tiny Titans.
Yeah. Now for saving HP, you can actually slam your Xayah items on like Zoe. Normally you'd be putting them on like Sivir earlier, but it's getting a little bit too late in the game where like I wouldn't like items on Sivir 2 on stage 2 is very impactful. Items on Sivir 2 right now are a little bit less impactful. I mean, you don't always want to go back looking for that Sivir 2 when we want to transition. So like
I do have an item remover though.
You do? I don't think it's worth it. I would just slam IE on Zoe and call it a day.
Okay. IE over Last Whisper?
Yeah, IE is the best item.
Huh. Okay. I've always prioritized Last Whisper first. So the upside of having the IE with the risk of not having, I guess I also have a belt that could be even Shroud.
Yeah. No, IE is just crazy great. Okay, so especially since like you usually have some, especially like with the Teemo items kind of coming up, you have a lot of magic damage as well. It's like you don't fully need the LW. It also has a lot of upside when you have a comp that gets stuck on frontliners, and Churchill doesn't get stuck on frontliners because it hits backline.
Oh, you're right. Okay. That's a good point. Here I have open, what was it, belt?
What did you, can you sword? Go just so I can see that. So I don't like making the Shoujin just because it kills your swords.
Okay.
It has much impact right now. I mean, I would go glove them for sure. Make an IE. I also don't hate, especially after you slam the LW, you should just make the Warmogs as well, I think.
Oh, because I was thinking I would save for either glove for IE or rod for Morello.
Oh, you're actually not first pick. I forgot because you took on Tiny Titans. I think it's fine saving it for one turn then because you're not guaranteed the IE.
Oh,
Find them. Yeah, but after we make this, I think it's fine.
So I guess IE is my only real option, no rod. But between IE and Morello, you'd also pick IE because it's that good on Kaizo.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I guess I took Lupa. Or no, what? Oh, I guess I was trying to clean up my frontline items, huh? Okay, so that's way less item efficient.
Yeah. Push your luck.
I just need to be prioritizing or IE for Kaizo a lot more. I got bailed out. I'm also just generally pretty bad at measuring board strength. I feel like I'm like...
Are you worried you're going to win or?
Yeah, I'm worried I'm going to win. Like I just took out the Teemo there. I think there was
pretty weak boards. I don't hate it.
Okay. I feel like that's the tough thing is like, it seems like there are scenarios where you could either, like that one unit could be the difference between losing a fight with like, if I take out the unit, I might lose the fight by like 3 or 4 units. But if I play this, like the Teemo, I could like win by 1 unit.
Yeah. No, Teemo's a really hard unit because you either, he is the type of unit where you either win the fight or you lose by 20.
Yeah.
So like Sivir is a lot better at cleaning up stuff for you, or like Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously you have 2-star Teemo, so it's pretty good just to stack him. So this is, do you remember how many rounds you want to cash out?
I want to say this might be it, or maybe.
Oh no, I think maybe 2 at all. This would be like the spot where you're supposed to roll like here on 4-1.
Oh,
because you can find units and like you can play them. You can like keep them on your bench, but just remain just weak enough so you lose. But you just want to find some of those units before you'll take them out.
But, okay, yeah, that happens to me a lot where my cash out or the fortune goes into middle of stage 4. I guess I always thought, oh, if I'm gonna level, I should just not do it. But I mean,
if there's only you could just keep it on your Kaizo player, it's probably fine to sit. But
okay, that's probably
that's what happens. And then you made Morello, which is good. Okay, so you really want combat. We have items. We're going to probably get more items. We have gold. We just want combat power.
So Unified seems to stand out.
UR is the best. Heavy hitters play isn't bad because of the changes to for costs.
Yeah. So you would just roll, like basically do a normal roll down here. Like,
I mean, you have literally 27 gold where you can spend it and it's not going to change how much money you're making.
Yeah. Okay. Would you roll more aggressively than that? If I'm contested like multiple ways?
If you're contested multiple ways, yes.
Okay. But just like one way contested, it's probably fine to just go to 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you not only made you not only let the other people take out more of your units, but you also made the roll down more difficult for yourself because now you have 100 gold to roll instead of 50.
Right. Yeah.
And see, you weren't able to do anything because you don't have time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I'm just taking massive damage.
Should probably just get the genre off of our bench and be rolling right now.
Okay,
Zaya's
here
pretty good.
the Zaya, yeah.
We don't need any more items. We're not too picky. We just want unit quality.
Yeah, I think I saw there's
it's
just
even
one
it's
other.
even a great item anyway. So like,
Yeah.
okay, you need space. So as soon as you find your first Kaisa, you always sell your silver immediately.
Oh, okay.
Because you
So
have
you
an
don't.
extra silver on your bench, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as you find Zaya, you sell silver and put in the new silver.
Yeah, that was an itemization diff, probably.
Yeah, probably. Oh, you remember? You do that too, then I guess.
Is this a mistake?
Yeah, probably.
I shouldn't have been
So
holding that.
like that 0 to 4K. I wouldn't be surprised if Timo did 4K as well, but then it would also make your other units do more damage.
Right.
So like generally, oh, actually, you have a +1 because you have Fawn. Like you can just play it on the side with no items.
Play the 0-2
Yeah.
on the side. I see.
Who are we missing? Oh, I swear you had
I had
Aatrox. You saw
Aatrox, yeah.
Aatrox. Yeah, we knew that Aatrox too. So small, just like board problems of like not holding the Aatroxes before Bruiser.
I think I had it and I sold it just to like clean up the board, but it's probably better than the Amy, right?
Yeah, there's definitely better ways to clean up your board. I think in a roll down like this, it's probably too hard to because you're holding extra Teemos as well. So like unless you actually have bench space to do that, it's probably gonna cost you money and just like time by holding those Teemos. And they'll what was I gonna say?
It's like this kind of scenario happens to me so much where I'm just like playing for a huge fortune cash out, and then all it takes is one high roller to like kill me off.
Yeah.
And then my execution after the actual cash out is like usually pretty poor.
Oh, I forgot it. I'll probably be reminded of it just from watching the game.
These are the situations where I'm like, oh, this is so fun now. I got a huge cash out and I'm beating lots of boards, but it's just I'm just waiting for the hammer to drop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding, I think, the Syndra and Ash because they're, or the Lilia, like people going for 4 costs, 3 stars.
Were you always planning on putting in the Azir over Teemo?
Not really.
Or like you're just holding it because it was a 5 cost and then you figured it out later? Okay. Because if you are holding it for that purpose, which like isn't even bad because you have the Fawn, you definitely do want to actually hold the extra Teemos because even if you do want to take out Teemo for Azir, you need to put a Teemo pack in for the trades.
Yeah. I think I actually had a Teemo 2 on bench when I did that too.
Possibly.
Yeah, I had Teemo.
You had a Teemo on bench at some point. I don't know when you sold him, but I mean, this is big, just like holding 100 gold for no reason, div.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, like you know what you did wrong, so it's not like a huge mystery. I think you're definitely like trying to flex your front line a little bit too much. Just like, oh, random Annie. Like I'm not sure when this Aatrox got sold. Because let's say you have it now, but you didn't have it later.
Oh, I think when I got the Annie, I must have. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just made my board weaker. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of like execution error that like. I mean, honestly, spamming fortune greens will just make this easier for you.
Oh, right here. For some reason, I thought Faded was better. Or Umbral.
Umbral.
Yeah,
That's kind of fake. He's not very good. And he's also a unit that like you need to stack up and then like get 2 stars with items from to actually do anything. And at this point, your win con isn't like a stacked 2-star set. It's just staying alive in order to get to level 9
right.
and get items on your Zaya, which like I said is not going to help you do that. So
Okay. So the big mistake was specifically 4-1.
yeah,
4-1,
so
I should already be rolling.
you let too many units get bought, which made it really expensive for you to hit your own board. And even when you did, you weren't able to go to 9 with enough gold. You lost a life for free because you kept silver on your board. Oh, okay. Just what I was gonna say. The main thing about like selling silver right when you find your Kaisa is that like it just makes everything easier for you in the brain because you buy Kaisa, you sell silver, and things are like, you know, do this, do this, do this, do this. But then if you just find, if you roll for the board and then you try to make the substitutions after you roll for the board, there's too many things and you don't like know what to do.
Right.
But if you know that like when I find Galio, I take out Koboko because that's his own items. You do that right away, and then you don't get confused later. And you do those 1-for-1s. But then like if you roll for your whole board and then you have these 9 units on your bench, and then you have to like figure out, okay, who goes in over who goes in over who do I have? And you like forget what you've been found because you rolled down for that like 15, 20 seconds ago. Then you get lost. But if you just do the like I found my tank, I now sell my tank item holder. I found my carry, I sell my carry item holder. Like on the spot. And you just like don't leave yourself room to make those mistakes. Because it's better to lose 1 second of rolling, which is what you do when you make substitutions on the fly, than losing 1 second of like team modifying or like moving your board around, which is what you lose when you leave that to the last second.
Okay. Because even here, like with the Kobuko, it seems like the Kobuko 2 holding those items would be stronger right now than the Galio 1, especially since Kobuko's been stacking up a bunch of HP.
It's maybe equivalent. The thing is, you also want these items on Silas actually because he uses AP.
Oh, right.
But the thing is, like, you just have to sell this. You have to sell Tristana. You have to sell Janna. You have to sell Diana's. This is 5 slots that you can't afford. If you're planning on using a liver on your Sivir, which is also reasonable, because you kind of want to keep that with 2 stars or 1 star, the only reason you wouldn't do that is to like put items on a Silas 2 and then move them to Galio 2 later if you think you're better in Galio. But if you're planning on using it on Sivir, which I think you are, you should sell the Sivir 1 as well. And that's 6 slots now that you have. And then you'll be able to do that roll down a lot faster.
Right. And I totally forgot to move the Zonyas to the Sivir, or not the Sivir, the Silas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's whatever. It's not even that bad on Teemo too.
Okay. The other reason I was holding like the Dragon Lords is, I guess I was like thinking, oh, maybe there's a scenario I could go fast 9 and then play if I happen to hit like a Zaya, then maybe I could just go straight for that board. But I think this is where I'm like, trying to. Oh, okay.
There's nothing wrong with going fast 9 for that board. The thing is you aren't going fast 9 because you're too poor to go fast 9. And also you already have the bruiser set up. So like the fast 9 uses Horn and Hooter, and then the level 8 uses Galio and Silas. And like you already have Silas, Pyro, and Galio. So it's really hard to like get to an Orin 2 tank before you're going to get to those Silas 2 tanks. So there's no reason to go fast 9 here.
Okay, so when I already have like a clear direction as far as the Galio pair, or not the Silas pair, I should just clean up.
Just commit to the level 8 board. Okay. Especially since like from your cash out, I don't think you need to go level 9 ASAP to win the game. Like you should be able to make a really strong board on 8. And then you can go 9 and cap through legendaries or like a modified Dragon Lord board with like keeping your bruiser frontline. And you should be fine. The only reason you go fast 9 is when you want to like avoid contesting the level 8 roll down. Which you can't do. You're rich enough to like beat them to it because you could roll on 4-1. And then too poor to actually make it to level 9 with enough gold to make it work. So
okay, so going back to 4-1 here, I should level, like, costs what? Like around 40 gold. Okay. So I should have at least
Yeah,
gone 8 and then
you
rolled to
level for
like
free.
50.
You'd have enough gold to like roll to maybe 40, and just maybe find a few four costs. You don't have to make your rolls harder because you still want to lose this round. And then the next turn you'd have a lot less gold to roll because you would have spent a little bit already. You would have had a little bit better idea of how to transition your board because you would have gotten rid of these useless units on your bench. The other thing is, and you're on the last round of section, you always collect your fortune units.
Okay. So it's just, yeah,
because
get rid
you're
of all
never
of this.
upgrading them.
Okay. So I should be actively thinking about how to clean up all my bench space and board for the roll before the roll down to make that transition
it's a huge
easier.
thing. It's a huge thing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think that's like something I struggle with because I'm just in my head. I'm like, oh, I should just keep my options open and maybe I'll hit a Tris 2. I guess there was a scenario where like, and maybe this is a scenario where if I'm more poor, but like where if I had hit level 8 and I have, I don't know, 30 gold or something on 4-1 or 4-2, and I do the roll down and I have a Tris 2 versus a Kaisa 1, like
Trist is so useless without duelist trait. I wouldn't even want to. I would just leave my Sivir at that point, probably. A lot of people, they like play for these outs, and then like maybe you hit the out where it's like slightly stronger 1 out of like 30 games. But then those other 29 games, you just make your board weaker by like ruining or like you're wasting time and wasting bench space. Whereas you just kind of set 1 out of 30 and focus on the 29 out of 30.
right. Okay, that makes sense.
You sometimes have to give up on outs to make the more realistic option stronger.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to I think what was it, the stage 3 example I was talking about when I'm win streaking and I try to be a little bit over aggressive on leveling and rolling when 2/3 of the time I'll win anyway. Okay, so like try to play for the highest EV option as opposed to optimizing for like all the edge cases.
Yeah. It's too hard to do everything. So you just want to do the most realistic thing, especially when you have this much gold. You're not missing Kaisa. Like there's just no way. If you miss Kaisa, just FF. At that point, a Tristana 2 is not going to save you. Like you need a Zaya or you need like a Hash 2 to save you, which you can pick up those if you want, but you're not holding Tristanas.
Okay. How do you transition with Ashe in this board? Like you're just using Ashe as an item hold?
I have never done it. I always like at least find one Kaisa. I mean, I don't think it's like that deep. You just play whatever front line you find. You play the Ashe, and then you try to slowly transition. Like, I've never done it. If you like really are worried about not finding Kaisa because maybe there's other Kaisa players, then like that's something that you should probably be doing.
And in that scenario, I guess if there's no other Ashe players, you might do a full transition into an Ashe board, or would you just use Ashe as an item holder until like hopefully some of the Kaisa players die and then go back to Kaisa 2?
That's definitely reasonable. The thing is, when you're pulled from this kind of spot, you're the one that's low and you're the one that's mostly going to die first, right?
Yeah.
So like if there's no Ashe players and there's like 2 to 3 people contesting Kaisa, I don't see any problem with like full pivoting, especially with this amount of goal that you have. It would just be kind of a little pivot. Like you probably have to keep a little bit of bruisers. You just play like, Ashe plus, whatever person you find plus whatever sniper, and then it just selects the front line until you can get to the real board.
Okay.
It's hard to do the whole like Ashe item hold into wait for them to die when like you're the person dying. Because you don't have the HP to play with. So like you need to make sure you're not playing like a weaker board with a chance to get stronger later when like that chance isn't very likely.
So my high level takeaways is actually it's kind of like small micro things. I should be cleaning up my board before the big roll down, play towards the highest EV. Don't try to play towards all the edge case outs. A small micro thing is
swap things as you hit them.
Right. Sell the item holder as you hit, and then even like micro wise, like if I find the Kaisa, sell the Sivir and move the Kaisa into the board so I don't have to figure that out later.
Yep.
Okay. And then I shouldn't be wasting gold, or I should basically never be at 100 gold unless I have like hedge fund. So I should be going to level 8 and rolling a bit. And even if I hit the Kaisa, I don't have to I don't have to put it in. I should still be playing the strongest board I can that's gonna lose to my pool, but
What
I
you can
could
do
just
also is like if you make that transition, you actually play that pizza, and since you only have one round, you can just choose how many items to slam, so then you don't win. Because if you play the full Kaizo board with all your items, you're probably gonna lose. So you just make the board, and then you see the other person's board, and you say, okay, I can slam, i.e. I'll be fine. And you just keep the L dagger on bench. So that's what you can do.
Okay.
And then stage 2, don't level up with this what doesn't kill you. Don't slam items on fortunes that you can't afford to bench in case you get out opened, which some people tried to, but they weren't able to hit you. And I think the rest of it was pretty reasonable. I think that like if someone was weaker, you definitely could have gotten screwed. So like the leveling up and item slams like could have got you, but they did not.
Mm-hmm. And if I could have executed better on the fortune cash out and like rolled a little bit earlier, like on 4-1 to hit the Kaizets, it seems like this should easily be a top 4, if not like a top 2.
Yeah,
right?
You can win out from here for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I find myself in so many of these spots where I think I think this is really helpful about how to actually convert the cash out and transition more smoothly. So hopefully I can make these from consistent bot 4s into at least top 4s. Okay.
You took a good line though. Other than like make yourself a little bit too strong in stage 2 and just like a little messy on the cash out, it's still like a very good game plan. Like other than some item choices, like I would have taken the IE, but you end up getting it anyways, so not a problem.